Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not welcome back to Tubi Tuesday, and today we're looking at, or this week I should say, we're looking at Walking Tall from 2004, starring The Rock, as he was called at this point. Yes, funny I had a chance to watch this. This is 20 years in the making, so I think it was late 2004, early 2005. Uh, it was around 2003, 2004, like time that I was starting to rent movies from Cashwise. I mentioned it during birth month. I did rent Walking Tall. I remember starting to watch it, but I don't think I ever finished it. And I never tried to rent it or watch it again. And now, 20 years later, there's. This is clean. It was hanging in my closet. It was clean. Anyway, 20 years later, I finally sat down and watched this thing. Like I said, because Tubi's being the way it is for the big game, I can't search or go to my stuff. So this was in my stuff, but I'm going through the movie section that I can apparently get to. And I saw this, and I was going through all the other ones. And I'm like, you know what? I'll do this. I will be able to do the last one I was picked because it was in the movie section. So yeah, but getting even with that was not. So that would not be done here. That's another one that is years in the making too. I'm gonna have to just do a review for it. And if I do, I've probably already done it. So hope you enjoyed that review because I would have just done it before this because this is airing towards the end of May. And now that I said that, I gotta quote Scooby-Doo. Purple is a fall color. It's the middle of May. This is towards the end of May, so who's coming out with this? So, Walking Tall stars The Rock, and it's based on a true story apparently. It is a remake of a 1973 original movie starring Joe Don Baker as it is the true story apparently of one Buford Pusser. That is the name. Pusser. Joe Don Baker played Pusser in the original one, and then it's followed by two sequels where a different actor played the same character. So Joe Don Baker didn't come back. The Rock would play a different character here, Chris Vaughn, because The Rock is Samoan, you see. So you can't really be autobiographical or play a real person who wasn't of that color. Although in this movie, he is mixed, half white, half black. No Samoan in this version because the dad is African American and his mom is white. So, and it tells the story of Chris Vaughn who returns to his hometown and realizes there are corruption, crime, sex, drugs in his town. And so now he becomes the sheriff to take care of business. That is really the premise that you get when you a little blurb you look on IMDb, and even a little bit on Wikipedia. But it takes half the movie before he becomes the sheriff. So, we get him learning about the corruption and everything, and his old school friend is connected to it, and all of that. And then he goes vigilante when something happens to his nephew. And then there's a court case, which is real fucking ironic because I just did my cousin Vinny. I would love for him to be The Rock's. Hey, don't worry about it. I got you. I got it. I got your whole thing planned there, pal. You don't understand. My buddy over here was whatever they said is bullshit. I don't know. This is PG-13, which is it's really weird because there's a strip club in this guy's place, and I always find it weird when there's strip clubs in PG-13 movies because you can't show anything. So I don't know. And he couldn't even get away with it like he could in the 80s because then stripping is sexualizing it. So I don't know. But this was filmed in Canada. I didn't even look that up. I didn't because there are several actors from shows that filmed in Canada. And I can name them off right here. Ryan Robbins I've seen him in everything from Supernatural to Stargate Atlantis to Sanctuary. Ty Olsson, also Smallville, uh, or Supernatural, excuse me, has been there. Neil McDonough, he's been on many Canadian things. You don't think he is Canadian, but he's been in many Canadian things. He's the main villain here. Booker from the famous Jet Jetson. I was surprised he didn't get deputized, to be honest, because he was a cop. I'm like, first I called him Boomer, and I'm like, no, it's Booker. It's Booker. Tell me. You're not Booker T. But his name's Booker, and he's one of the good guys, actually. Kevin Durand, he's Canadian as hell. Who else? There's a couple other guys that I recognize, but I don't know their names. I've seen them in Supernatural and Smallville and stuff. They played bullies, or they played heavy. They're heavies here too. So actors I've seen. We also have Kaleo Thomas from Holes, Zero. You know why they call him Zero? Because there's nothing going on in his stupid little head. Now, this is airing in May, but I beg Disney, don't do your stupid Holes reboot series. Because they're going to make it all female, and that erases the entire point of that movie. And the book is based on a book. And you're going to ruin it by making it female. And by now, we could probably be on its way to filming, for all I know, by the time this comes out. But anyway, The Rock's dad I've seen before. The guy who plays him, he was in The Purge Anarchy, and I didn't really look further than that, but I knew he was in Purge Anarchy. And his sister looked familiar, but I didn't look her up. But and of course the love interest is Ashley Scott. And she really doesn't get a lot to do. We find out, you see that she's a stripper, and they have a couple conversations, and then they do it, and then shit goes down. Like, the climax of this movie happened so quick, I got whiplash on my ass. That's how quick it happened. I got flipped upside down, and I was like, whoa, we are going into this this how it ends? This how it ends? Because he doesn't become sheriff till halfway. He's sheriff for like a day and a half. And then shit hits the fan. So we start with Chris returning. Everything is fine. He's meeting old people. He's meeting his family. His best friend, Ray. And it's not Triple H. It's Johnny Knoxville. He basically says something to stand up. Hey, boo-boo. Like he does in Dukes of Hazzard, which will come out after this. But I'm like, he's not corrupt, is he? No, he's one of the good guys, actually. So that's good. He's one of the friends. And then they play the football. Right, with Neil McDonough and Kevin Durand and all those guys that play the football. Which is funny because I'm recording this on Super Bowl Sunday. So, and The Rock's team loses because Neil McDonough's team cheats. Plain and simple, they cheat. Well, sort of. It was cheating. We'll just say it's cheating. So, Jay, that is Neil McDonough's character, says, hey, you come by the casino, I'll treat you real good. He goes, I'm going to take you up on that. So, But during this, we see that, and this is always awkward, when you watch a movie from 20 years ago, and I hate to say 20 years ago, and they're like, his nephew's like, well, that was rough, and he's like, you know what's worse? Seeing you standing over there smoking weed, and I'm like, oof. Nowadays, that is, it's not legal everywhere, but when it comes to drugs, weed is probably the least of a concern when it comes to drugs. And I thought, I'm like, we're leaning at him doing drugs. He's not going to do something with weed. That's going to, he was under the influence and was driving. And I'm like, because it has to do with crystal meth later. So I knew something was coming when I talk about drugs. But, yeah. So he goes to the casino and he notices that the guy rolling the dice is using loaded dice. And he calls the guy out on it. And everybody basically has a problem with it. He's like, hey, let me see that. And he's like, rolls the dice. He's like, it's going to be a 7. Sir, it's not your roll. No. It's okay. It's going to be a 7. Trust me. Rolls it. He's like, hey, you owe me money. And I'm like, why is he asking for the money when he knows it's loaded? Because they'd pay it out to someone else who wanted it, I guess? I don't know. My question is, does he then switch out the dice for other little dice that's set to roll the bad one? Because if he's using roll it... Because my thought is, when I read loaded dice, it's dice that always gets the bad numbers so they lose money. But if it's rolling a 7, that's a good thing. Right? I don't know. But this gets him into a bar fight, basically, where he kicks everyone's ass single-handedly because he's The Rock. He is the final boss. Even in 2004, he is The Rock, and he will lay it to smack it down on your candy ass. And he goes to jail. Yeah, because the cops in this town are corrupt too. And I called it as soon as they introduced the sheriff. I'm like, well, he's dirty. Just the way he held himself and stuff. I'm like, well, he's dirty. Obviously, the law's got to be in on it if this guy's getting away with stuff. Just the way they point out that this guy owns a lot of stuff. I'm like, it's like, it's a wonderful knife. You know, it's corrupt without the magical mind controlling powers Justin Long had. You know, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, corruption. Like, he's trying to buy out everything, and he's got everything mostly in his name. So, yeah. And so, because of this, he's taken to court. And, so, based on what I saw in My Cousin Vinny, he should still end up in jail for the night. Because he's sitting there and he's waiting for something to happen, and he sees his lawyer, court-appointed lawyer, keep looking back at Neil McDonough, and he realizes that the fix is in, so he says, "You're fired," and represents himself. Well, if you represent yourself, you could, it can go wrong. So he's like, yeah, I understand. So he doesn't even really plead his case. He basically says, to the jury, I don't think you can actually do this legally, but he's like, if you guys say that I'm not guilty, find me not guilty, I will run for sheriff and I will clean up this town. Like, yeah. But the judge says this, I will find you in contempt of court. So they find him not guilty, but based on the fact that I know that if you're found in contempt of court, thanks to My Cousin Vinny, you spend a night in jail. But that doesn't happen. And that election, we don't even see the election. He's just the sheriff. Just happens all that quick. So months must go by for this whole thing to happen. So it couldn't have happened right away. We cut all the shit. We cut the shit, as Jay Cargo would say in AEW, not so much now, but we cut all the shit out, and he's just sheriff. He's putting the decals on his truck, which is legal, I guess. He's got the 2x4, which is also legal for him to carry. I don't think he ever uses a gun in this. I think that's the point of the character, isn't it? Maybe it was more explicit in the 70s version, but I don't know. But, so yeah, he's the sheriff now, and he's gonna clean up the town. So he confronts Kevin Durant. First of all, he makes Ray Ray his deputy, because the first thing he does is fire all the other deputies, because he shows up at the police department, and the sheriff's like, hey, I can vouch for each one of these gentlemen, they're outstanding deputies. He looks at him and he goes, you're all fired. And then walks in and realizes he's got nobody. But like, he fires the deputies, but aren't there like secretaries and stuff that answer phones? There's nobody in there. Like, no one. So he hires Ray Ray as his deputy, and Ray Ray's like, no, I don't want to do that. No. But he hires me. I would hire Booker too. The guy from, not Booker T, but the guy from, I don't know. He seemed to be on the good side. I don't know. He only has one deputy through this, because it's supposed to be a one-man wrecking crew, which he did. But he confronts Kevin Durant, and they basically, to torture him, they basically dismantle his truck. A nice, bright red truck. My dream vehicle if I ever drove. Back in the day, I said if I ever got a car, I was driving, I want a red Ford F-150 truck. I know people love Ford. That's what I wanted. And that was, his truck was exactly what I was picturing in my head. No, they take it apart to pieces, to pieces. Ooh. But it doesn't really get anything out of him, so they lock him up. And then he's sitting there, and he instructs Ray to watch his family because he knows something's up. And so then he stays at the sheriff's department, and that's where Ashley Scott shows up with food. She has a name, Denny or something, and then they have the sex. PG-13 sex, because, By the way, the whole climax, this woman's in her bra. Yeah, that's... Yeah. I caught that. I'm like, she's just in her bra. Really? This is the climax of Piranha 3 Double D all over again, when you have Danielle Panabaker in her swimsuit top the whole... For no reason! Well, here it makes sense. Well, it made sense there because she's... Oh, actually, it didn't. If I remember correctly saying, I just did it a couple days ago, continuity-wise for me, that she was the conservative one, so she wouldn't be wearing it. That bikini top there. She'd be dressed to the nines. She'd be dressed fine. Normal. Fine. She'd be dressed normal. Here, they're just big enough from the sex, and they're going to have breakfast waffles or something. And then the bad guys show up and start shooting up the place. There's no way, shape, or form, in no way, shape, or form does this help Neil McDonough's problem. Because you know what he can do? He's getting shot up. He can call the state police. State police, who I believe are not corrupt, will come and deal with this as backup. And then they're all in the can. But no, he's got to be the one-man band, the one-man ass-kicking crew. He takes them out. Kevin Durant gets killed because he tells them, oh, the drug operation's at the old mill. Oh, because I forgot to mention that the reason he goes on his whole thing attacking... Oh, no, that's not... Okay. He gets... Okay, I skipped a big part of this. So it wasn't him attacking the people in there, fighting the bouncers. He gets thrown out in a scar on his chest. He gets cut on the chest as a warning. But then he finds out that his nephew overdosed on crystal meth. He's fine, by the way, because they're not going to kill off the kid in the PG-13 movie. Then he goes berserker on the place. I got a little messed up. I skipped a part. And then he goes to trial. So, yeah. I knew something was missing. I just couldn't think of it until now. So he says that the drug operation is at the old mill. This is where I'm missing it. And Ray, we see he's at the house. And he wakes up. He's just, man, something's burning. They never stopped that from burning, by the way. But, yeah. So then Ray, he gets shot in the leg, but he still helps take down people who were showing up to the house. And there was, eventually, Chris is able to get away from, The Rock is able to get away from the police station. Crawls underneath the thing, gets out. Kevin Durant dies because he told him everything you need to know. And they get out of there, and he gets back to the house. Ray takes out a couple guys, and then The Rock shows up and takes out one of the guys, and then someone shoots at the last, I think it's Ryan Robbins that gets shot, or it's another guy, one of the two. I think it's another guy. It's the guy I recognize. He was on Supernatural, but I don't know. I know his name, but I called it. I'm like, it's The Rock's dad, because there's a whole thing about I don't carry no weapons no more, and so I knew that was leading towards him using one in the climax. So he does. So then Chris goes to the old mill by himself to confront Neil McDonough, and they have a showdown. He beats the living hell out of him and wins, and he has now saved the town, I guess. Yeah, and so he and Ray drive off, talking about stuff. Movie ends. this was good. This was good. This again, like I said, this wasn't one of my original plans. They have a few of movies with wrestlers as leads. I was gonna try doing the wrestle-a-thon thing, but it was on the page, so I figured why not do it. So I got dry skin. It's itching the hell out of me. So yeah, I'll give it a pretty good. I'm sitting here wondering why I didn't finish watching it or what happened with the first time I watched it. I don't know, because this was like very much in my wheelhouse for a movie I would like to watch. So I really don't know. I really don't. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on Walking Tall? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.